Tune in right now, listen, find out your favorite stitch. Fashion with the Knit+Sip.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Knit+Sip podcast. I'm Kate.
Hi, I'm Leeza.
I didn't really address this in the last one. We are filming off a cycle of when we usually film. That's why we are at Leeza's beautiful house and not at the store.
We are not on location. We're on a new location.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Temporary location change. So we'll be back in the store, I'm sure, by next time for Leeza's Rhinebeck recap. So I can't go this year.
It's going to be the Rhinebeck Roundup. That's what we're going to do.
We'll post lots of pictures. Yeah. I can't go, so Lisa's going to tell us everything that they did and saw, and I can't wait to hear about it. But right now, we're getting you Rhinebeck ready with some ideas for what what Leeza is actually bringing, what I would be bringing. And even if you're not going to Rhinebeck, these are just some great fall, fashion inspiration tips and tricks for you guys.
Absolutely. And the big thing about fall right now is you don't know what temperature it's going to be. It may be really cold in the morning, and then it gets warmer in the afternoon, and you're trying to shed things. And so when you're going on vacation, you're going on, to this great adventure to Rhinebeck, you're like, I want to make sure I'm comfortable while I'm having all of this fun. So, and that's what kind of went into my wardrobe selection as I was going through and thinking about, okay, what makes the most sense. The first thing that I did is I have a sweater that I dearly love. It's the Robin sweater. And I actually got this yarn last year at Rhinebeck. So she's going home to where she started. And I do love this. It's beautiful. It's kind of oatmeal-y gray, if I can get the color right. Unfortunately, I'm not a gauge swatcher. And so I think that I made it too small.
I don't know if your gauge is off or if just the sizing was off. We'll have to check.
We don't know, but it doesn't fit. We all know that. And when I say that, it's just a little too short cropped. It could have been a size bigger. And so what I still want to wear, what I've chosen to do is put it with, instead of pants that's going to show my belly like I'm 20, not going to do that. Don't worry about that, Rhinebeck guests. I thought, okay, what if I paired it over a really nice long maxi dress? And if it is with the maxi dress, you can see that it doesn't matter if it's going to creep up like it's cropped, because it's got a dress all the way up underneath here. So I thought that was a good combination, and it's going to be really still airy. And, I won't be too hot, but I'll be covered and I can wear Robin.
So I actually have, now that you're showing that, a similar set from Anthropologie where there's like a cropped shirt that goes over a maxi dress. So that's a very good call there. And I think that will be perfect for shedding layers.
Yes. My next idea for clothing is, because I think, okay, I'm going to be warm. I have a tank and I have it partnered with, get this, people, my very first child. This was my first child. This is the first thing that I made. It's the Afton Shrug. And what's so cool about this is this green color here, the solid green color here, that is, or not solid, but it doesn't have the blue in it. That is a color from Madelinetosh, right? And I fell in love with the color.
Golden Hour, maybe?
Golden Hour, yeah, exactly. And when I met Kate, I was like, I have something from 20 years ago, from Silk, from 20 years ago, that I got at this most gorgeous yarn shop in North Carolina, but I didn't really know how to knit. You've all heard that story. I don't need to redo that. But I've been holding it and I'm like, I think it would be great with it. And what it did is it reminded me of a peacock because it was green and it was blue. And so Kate helped me decide what to put it with. And I put it with Golden Hour and it almost made a striped peacock. It was amazing.
Like, so pretty.
I didn't even realize that this would happen. So what I'm planning to do is I have the tank underneath the Afton Shrug, and the shrug is pretty heavy. But also if I get there and I'm like, oh, that's a little bit cool, I also have a super cute, like a green, like sweatshirt almost, And it can go just right up underneath as well. So it's the same color, it's just a sweatshirt. And so I think that that would work as well with the Afton shrug. So that is my second outfit that I chose. And then my third outfit, I was like, it's not all about being head to toe, I'm knit, but it's really about, what's going to make you the most comfortable while you're there. And a lot of my things are still whips. You've seen a lot of the things I've already done, and I already wore them last year. Not that anybody would remember. That lady wore that last year. They're not going to say that, but I know. And so I don't want to wear the same
like your
thing.
beautiful weekender that you're wearing right now.
My beautiful weekender. I wore it last year. Can't wear it this year.
That was our Rhinebeck sweater last year.
Yep. And so what I did is I partnered just a little short sleeve tee. It's cropped with my jean jacket. And then what I have to put on it is my Sophie scarf.
Love that one.
My Sophie scarf. So, and it's, I'm trying to remember.
It's Chelsea.
It is Chelsea.
Like agate zebra. And then I don't know, maybe a Knitting for Olive mohair.
Yeah, it is agate zebra. Good job.
And I think maybe what dusty artichoke mohair. I'm not positive, but something like that.
So it really brings out the blue in this, and it's a perfect way to be able to show off my knits, be comfortable while I'm there.
Great color by your face.
Great color by my face, and also be able to shed it if I need to, because I'm too hot. Last thing I want to show, I did not knit this, but I got this from a vendor, and it's just a really big shawl. It's really big. And it's very lightweight. It is so nice. And so I think it's something that I'm going to have in my backpack to be able to just throw on if I need it in the mornings. And I think how cool if you're a vendor to be able to be like, that's my shawl as it walks by. So I want to give a shout out to whichever vendor this is. I'm going to find you again and buy another one. But those are the things that I'm taking. I'm very excited to go. I'm going to take all the photos. I'm going to take all the videos. I'm going to make sure that you guys know exactly what it's all about. So hopefully you can go with us next year.
So I want to hear are there yarns you're looking for, or what are you most excited to see? What are some of your goals, if you have any?
Yes.
Or you can just take a vacation and not have goals too. But I don't know. I know last year you kind of went in with a few goals. I did. So I thought maybe you did this year too, but if not, that's fine. Yeah. I was just, let's chat about what you're hoping for.
Very similar goals as last year. Last year was my first year. And again, it was my, 2 years into knitting. And so I, was still very beginner stages of it. And so I knew that it was going to be overwhelming. I didn't have any idea how overwhelming it was going to be, but I was glad I was prepared. So what I did last year and what I'm doing this year is I'm going to choose 2 to 3 patterns that I really want to make, but I just don't know what I want it to look like yet. I don't know what color. I have no idea. And so I go ahead and I get my measurements down. I have the picture of it, and then I have the measurements written on it. I take a screenshot, so I have it on my phone as a photo. And if I see something I like, I figure out the weight of it, and then I go, ooh, do I want that in my robin? And that's exactly what I did last year. I was like, okay, I want this, and I picked 3 different ones last year, and hopefully I'll pick 2 to 3 this year. And that way it helps me, number one, come home with something that I feel like I can make and say that was a Rhinebeck sweater. But also too, it helps me keep myself under control, because we've all been there where we're like, that's pretty, I want that. And you get it and you don't get the right quantity.
Right. That's the biggest challenge.
You don't get the right weight. You don't get, when you go to make it into something, and then you just kind of have to settle for whatever. You're like, well, I guess I have enough for a hat, when you really wanted it to be a great shawl or something. And so I think being prepared like that is going to help me. I know it made me feel a lot more in control last year, because I cannot even tell you how much yarn is there. It's beyond belief. And
notions and all kinds of amazing things. And so much to see.
Right. And if I can focus on the 2 to 3 items that I would like to make and get that knocked off my list, then I got to move on to gifts. I got to move on to the things that I wanted to give people, even for Christmas, and, just for gifts here and there. It's also really nice too, because I don't even know if I've ever told you this. I keep like a drawer in my house that is gifts. And so if you ever are like last minute, you need a hostess gift, or you need, oh no, I forgot to buy this birthday present. I also do it with cards as well.
Oh, that's so nice.
I'm on the ready when it's time for a party and a present. And so I'm also looking to kind
Not
of
just a birthday, but a whole party.
a whole party. If you need a party and a present, a card, I probably got it. And so my stash is getting a little bit low there, and so I want to kind of look for some things to possibly refill my gift drawer.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we have your newspaper too, which is still a whip, so and hopefully will come. But I love all of the choices. Yes. I think you'll be so prepared for the variations in weather. It seems a lot like it's going to be like it was last year, where they're like chilly mornings, nice afternoons.
Yeah.
I do remember the plane being very cold.
Yes.
You guys were freezing.
It was cold. So, I'm prepared for that now. Yes. And you know what I'm really prepared for? The apple cider donuts and the apple cider milkshake. I have never had an apple cider milkshake before, but I'm ready for it. Ready for it again.
It was good. It was a good one.
It was good. So I'm excited.
So I can't go this year, but I wanted to show you what I would bring if I were able to go. And also, this is my stripe pipe. It's finished. So
beautiful.
Yes, I love my stripe pipe. It's very, very comfy. So it's the first garment I've ever done in a mixture of superwash and non-superwash yarn. And then I just recently did another one, the Le Pouf cardigan, but this was started long before that. So I guess I was counting it as my first. And I'm very happy with the way it turned out and everything. I didn't really notice bleeding in the colors on this one, which would more be the superwash bleeding. And luckily the non-superwash wouldn't absorb it very much anyway, but I definitely did not notice much with that. And so what I think a lot of people did with stripe pipe, so this could be something that you consider if you go to Rhinebeck too and you're not looking to spend an overwhelming amount of money, is like I use all of my stripes are scrap yarn from other projects. I
did not know that.
Stash yarn, but scrap yarn.
Yeah.
So actually what they are is scrap yarn from the 2 Luminous tees I made. Because I think I've said this on the podcast before, but the Luminous tees that I made, the size I made, which was maybe like B or something, you start like into your second ball of your main color, like 13 rows from the end. And it's like, well, I'm not going to make it like a deep V and not do those 13 rows.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that seems like a major waste of yarn.
Right.
And so all of my stripes are from the 2 Luminous tees. So they were fingering weight that I held with a light fingering weight, and the gauge is great and everything. So I only bought my main color. And I think a lot of people who did the stripe pipe did that. They used they bought a new main color and used either stash or scraps for all of their stripes.
So smart.
And so, and for a lot of the sizes, I feel like for your main color, it ends up being like, 3 to 4 balls of, I think there were several sizes that went into where it was still 3 or something like that. Like it wasn't a huge amount because the stripes are fairly large. So that's just a thought for you guys going into Rhinebeck too. If you're like, hey, I want a little souvenir, but I've also got a lot of stash I'm working through, because I think that's a common theme I've heard this year. Okay, so the things I would be bringing if I were going to Rhinebeck, I would only go, I think they are going Thursday through Sunday. I think I would only go Friday through Sunday. So to the Friday festivals, I would wear my Kelly sweater.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
You would definitely turn some heads.
So happy with it. And it's done in Harrisville Designs, and I know that they're going this year. They sent an email about finding them and everything. And so I would definitely be able to show that to Harrisville, and hopefully they'd be pleased to see their yarn in action. And then of course our knit along that the store chose was the newspaper, so that's my newspaper.
I'm still knitting along, by the way.
I think you'll get there. But that is my newspaper. And then for Sunday, which what we did last year was, and probably what you guys are doing this year, is like we had a later flight, so we went part of the day to the festival,
the morning,
left, and then went home. And so I am not finished with this yet, but not going to Rhinebeck, so it doesn't matter, but I would be pretty sure I could finish it anyway. This is my Soho blouse, one of my fast fashion remakes, and I am working the sleeves right now. So it is not short sleeved, it is long sleeved. I would make it long sleeved, and then if the plane were cold or something, I think it would be fine. So it's knitting for all of cotton, merino, and navy, and undyed. And so everything's the ends are woven in. I do expect that with it being cotton merino, it will stretch a little bit. So I didn't really want it to be as cropped as it was, but I didn't want to. If I made it any longer, I would have ended up using more yarn than I was interested.
Well, and if it
using.
grows, then
Right, and I think it will grow anyway. So I think it will grow enough and be pretty anyway and everything. But yeah, I was like, oh, I could use all the yarn I had now and finish the sleeves in that, and I was sure I'd have enough, or I could get 2 more balls, and I was like, I don't really want to do that. Like, so I think I just made it as long as it was going to be with the yarn I had.
I like it.
So yes, so those are what I would bring, and then my plane project, and you guys have seen this before. But last year I was brioching on the plane. I was doing my kids' hats. I think I would bring my sweater number 7 right now because it is still in the stages of being quite small. So it is.
I may be brioching on the plane as well.
Your newspaper.
She's coming along. She's coming along. I've just been really busy and haven't had a chance to put as much time into her as I needed to. And we all know I started late. So
I think a few people did. I think there's several people who are down. So we've kind of decided, and so I don't know, we'll have to put some thought into this as we choose it next year, but we've kind of decided that for some reason the store Rhinebeck knit along is cursed. Like all the other knit alongs seem to be fine. But like I remember last year our friend Ariel ripped hers out a few times.
This one.
Like yeah.
The weekender. Ariel and
everyone was having problems with it. I can't remember all the various problems, but it really was. I was like, it was cursed. I was like, wow, this is weird.
It was hard.
And I think this year has been a bit like that too with the newspaper. Partly, I think several people were on the fence about it, but then saw other people working on it and were like, oh, I really do like that. And, and some people then were able to even use, their own scrap yarn and everything for it, because it's not a very yarn heavy project. Like,
no, I am really almost finished with my last stripe before the ribbing on the body, and I am just now finishing my first roll of each yarn.
I believe that.
And
so it's not hugely yarn heavy.
No, it's not. Me not finishing is totally on me. It was definitely a stretch, but like I said earlier in the other podcast, it was one of the things I wanted to learn. So it may be my plane project. Who knows?
Cool.
There'll be plenty of people there to help me fix it if I mess it up, because they've all made it. So, so it'll be great. I did tell my husband that there are people at Rhinebeck who don't finish their items, and they walk around with the cords still in them. And he thought that was quite possibly the funniest things he's ever heard. And so now he almost wants me not to finish it so that I can walk around with cords in it. I think he's really excited about that. He's like, that would be so cute. He actually used the word cute. So who knows? Maybe I'll just blame it on him and be like, he wanted me to wear it like this. So
you can finish like the collar and the sleeves, but then the body could still be, I don't know. That's really funny. I think
you know what? Come to Rhinebeck, find out.
Find like yarn jokes funny. So I think it's funny that he thinks that's the one that got him.
And he's mentioned it multiple times. So yeah, that's the one that got him going. And if you see me at Rhinebeck and I have cords, just know it's a thing. I'm trying to do that.
Oh, we've seen it. It's not a big deal. It's cool. I actually think it's really cool. I'm like, oh yeah, love that idea. Love that idea.
So yeah, I'm excited to go. I'm excited to see all the yarn. I'm excited to get together with friends. Sorry that you can't go this year, but we will see you next year. And I'll bring back all the pictures, all the stories, and on our next podcast, we'll review it all.
And if you guys are going to Rhinebeck, keep an eye out for Leeza and our crew. If you guys can stop by and say hi, and hopefully I'll get to see everyone next year. I certainly don't plan for all of the things that prevented me from going happening again. So let's hope that's over by then, and I'll be able to go. So very much looking forward to hearing about what you guys see. I can't wait. I'm so excited for you guys. I can't wait to hear about everything. So we will give you a recap so that you as well can live vicariously through Leeza.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, it really is. It's such a great trip. And, if anyone wants to meet up next year with us or anything, just, shoot us a message and let us know. Or even this year. I just don't know.
Yeah, this year we have 7. Last year, I think we had 12, I think, if I remember correctly. So,
I think with Bryce and Irma, I think there might be 8 or 9 total this year. I think 7 flying in together. But I hope I get this posted well enough in advance that you could comment and I could let you know. But more like, let's plan for next year.
For next year.
I tried to get these posted as quick as possible, but I don't know if it's going to happen before, very far in advance of Rhinebeck. But hopefully, if you guys are going, you're safe and have a lot of fun. And I hope you guys are safe and have a lot of fun. And I will miss you all. So tune in for our recap, and thanks. Cheers, y'all.
Bye.
Tune in right now, listen, find out your favorite stitch. Fashion with a knit.